I'm back. Continuation. I believe I was stating that this was the first divorce in history. The divorce reform platform in the late 1800s called in part for the national uniformity in divorce laws. In 1881, joined by other anti-divorce scholars and religious leaders, Wolseley became the first president of the New England Divorce Reform League, which back then I stated about how everyone was all for the churches and not believing in the divorce reforms. During that period of 1887 to 1906, children were reported in 40% of the cases. By 1922, this percentage had declined to 34%, but by 1930, it had risen to 38%. It is estimated that from 150,000 to 200,000 children are affected by divorce each year in the United States. With that fact, the studies show that the rise and decline of divorces was in part with the economic crisis. So if there was a boom in economics, there was no divorce. If there was a decrease, divorces occurred often. Divorces show a tendency to decline in hard times and to increase in times of prosperity. This trend is evident in both marriages and divorce statistics since 1867. August 6 of 1970, when the conference promulgated the new Uniform Marriage and Divorce Act, that agreement was reached on a measure combining marriage and divorce. The Uniform Marriage and Divorce Act rejects the unjustly restrictive requirement of fault grounds as a precondition to access the courts and recommends instead a petition to adjudicate the rights of individuals who express irrevocable breakdown, which is saying there's no dispute of the divorce. So there is dispute. You can't say that there's fault, and you have to move accordingly to the divorce proceedings. Services that I found that are on a national level: Divorce Care for Kids, which is a safe and fun place where children can learn skills that help them heal during this divorce process. They have groups and they blend games, music, stories, videos, and discussions to help children process the divorce and move forward. Also, Divorce Care for Adults is a friendly, caring group of people who will walk alongside the adults through one of the most difficult times of their lives, and just so they don't go through the separation and divorce alone. On a micro level, therapeutic strategies to assist clients in adjusting to divorce using a task-centered approach focuses on the present and key aspect of the client's problem. Assessment and engagement of the client must be quick because of the time-limiting nature of treatment. The task-centered approach utilizes the member's ego, strength, and their potential for independent problem solving. The social workers are there to assist members in attaining a sense of empowerment and emphasize their healthy areas of functioning and their potential strengths. I find this to be a very effective tool, considering that it, like I stated, it's empowering the client to move forward and be able to accomplish tasks ahead of them without being crippled by the effects of the divorce. A second therapeutic intervention, allegorical studies in treatment of children grew from the psychodynamic thinking about the role of symbol and metaphor in the function of the ego. Children have difficulty expressing their inner life of thoughts and feelings directly through language. As the ego develops, the child increases his or her capacity to express thoughts and feelings in non-lingual, metaphoric ways such as art, music, and literature. With mastery of the symbolizing function of the ego, the latency age child gains the capacity to substitute a concrete object for something of deeper meaning. Troubling thoughts and feelings may then be converted and displayed onto the fantasies created by the child, which back then it sounds like it's more talk therapy and play therapy, because it allows a child to express themselves through art and motion. because sometimes, I said before, the children aren't allowed to express their thoughts and have an opinion on what's going to happen with them and their future. On a macro level, I found that these are community agencies within my area that will help individuals of divorce. The YWC is a great resource for individuals seeking divorces, especially women, because they have a free legal clinic, and they also provide counseling and child care services for those who need help. They often waive the legal fees if it goes beyond the scope of what they are needed to do. Dauphin County Bar Association is also a great resource for those seeking a divorce, because they were the first bar association within Harrisburg. And lastly, I wanted to point out the Dauphin County Domestic Relations. They are also a great resource, because usually when you're going through a divorce, you're seeking custody or spousal support. So Dauphin County Domestic Relations is a great resource for that, and they also provide useful tools and information of where to seek counseling and other supports when you are going through a divorce. On the meso level, I feel that being able to identify the change within the family that is needed through seeking counseling for everyone who is involved. Like I've stated throughout this whole presentation, divorce affects everyone on a mental, physical, emotional, and sometimes spiritual level, and having those community supports through the churches or community centers to help the family unit stay intact. Also, I feel that children are often stigmatized when they have to deal with parents being divorced. So I think that is something that should be discussed within the schools, and have supports for children so they don't feel lost, so they don't have their rage and aggression and depression because they have no one to talk to. And finally, my thoughts about divorce. It's a horrible thing based off of the research I found, due to, in part, of the children suffer the most. It also shows that women are affected the most financially, which is a fact that I figured that I knew that I was going to learn, because usually women take on the full burden of the household, family, children, and not even to mention like the cost of daycares and things like that, or daily activities and sports. Again, children suffer the most when it comes to divorce, and it's their mental health that suffers because they don't have an outlet of expressing those thoughts and feelings. And it shows that the divorce rates have grown, and the contributing factors can often be the economic crisis, but there's no known study or fact to show that the top reasons for divorce is infidelity versus lack of communication. So all in all, divorce is a very interesting topic, and I hope you learned as much as I did during this presentation. Thank you.